Well, Elliot, what do we have here? How the hell did you find this second Elliot channel? Welcome, everyone, to Graphic Design is My Elliot. This is episode 0. Episode 0, because I'm not ready to launch it yet. There are some things that I want to add, but I think the intimidation of starting the second channel can only be cured by actually starting the second channel. So, look, let me explain a few of the things that's going on here. You're probably confused, as am I. I've been sitting on this idea for the last 6 months. Okay, this is a labor of love. This is a labor of Elliot. This is something that I think is essential almost to who I am as a person. A lot of you may know that I love to talk. You know, I love to talk. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love to talk? I love to talk so much that I'd always wanted to start a podcast. But I thought, hey, Elliot, you fool. You're a graphic designer. Who the hell wants to listen to a podcast about graphic design as it is a visual medium? And I thought, oh, well, maybe we could make a second channel that kind of acts like a podcast, but also has visual elements, okay? So that's essentially what this is. I don't know if you can hear the planes flying by or anything like that. I really hope not. One day I will hopefully upload these to Spotify and other streaming services like that. But for now, we're keeping it just here, okay? Just this is episode 0. Soft launch episode 0, okay? So yeah, this is like treat this. Well, I'm gonna treat this. At least this is how I'm gonna treat it. You can treat this like a podcast if you want. I'm going to treat this like almost like a radio channel with a visual element, like a talk show maybe, with no guests, maybe later. But what's going to happen is there's some segments that I've got, not today, for, like I said, episode 1. But we're just going to talk. I feel like I'm ruining this. I'm just going to talk about design and things that have been going on in my life that might be interesting, and then record it. And the whole point of this is that there won't be any editing, which is why I have this phone that can play sound effects and will also control the rest of it. I don't want to do any editing. I've had enough. I edit too much on the main channel. So this is just like a super chill, relaxed thing. Because I think as well, some of the videos that kind of got me the momentum to kick off this kind of big growth that's happened recently were just me sitting on the couch having a chat. And that was before I started putting things on the wall. I think this is a nice little set. We got the dog back and everything. The dog's real dusty though. I use the dog as a little mat in my bedroom, and I sometimes stand on the dog because that's how I get the best look in the mirror. And then the shoe dirt ends up on the dog. So the dog needs a really good vacuum, but my vacuum just isn't doing it. Looking into investing in a Dyson, but that's for later. So yeah, that's what this is this is what this kind of is. Just I know a lot of people as well, they tell me, oh, Elliot, I put your videos on in the background. And I'm like, well, I personally can't watch videos on in the background where that are in the way that I edit recently, the quite eventful stuff. That's a lot to process for me, both working and doing that. But something like this, that would be nice to work too. So that's what this is offering you. Maybe you want to work to something like this. Maybe that's what this is, working on in the background. My phones keep going off. Guys, we just got an email. No, that's not a recurring segment. I'm just going to turn that off. We got 2 phones. I got one, my old phone, my current phone is for notes, which I, funnily enough, haven't got for this episode 0. And then the other one is for the sound effects. We've also got music too. Let me play the intro. That's so quiet. I can't change that. That's alien graphics. Oh, it was a devastatingly quiet. But the goal is as well to get I've got a friend who does composing, and I'm gonna get some custom little stingers and theme songs and stuff. But welcome to the Graphic Design is My Elliot, which is just literally me talking about graphic design for as long as I possibly can, with no real agenda, just whatever's happened in the past week. And so much has happened. So the idea is that this is weekly as well. It's weekly too. and it's just going to be rambling. So this is like I said, this is the second channel. If you're watching this, you're locked in. You know what I mean? Like you're in for the ride of what is the Elliot is a Cool Guy world. So like this isn't meant to be a successful channel or anything. This is just fun for us. Yeah, me and you. That's what this is. This is for fun. That's why we do it. So yeah. Does that make sense? I think I also don't want to be I demand the time and of a second channel. You know, I need it to because people will love to listen to all this. It's like, no, this is like I just want to chat in a more casual way. It's like a Twitch stream, but without the pressure of talking to a chat. Not that there's much pressure there, but sometimes there is. Sometimes there is. I've had some bad experiences on Twitch. This will mean I have no bad experiences because there is no question and answer. This is just, what the fuck is going on inside this guy's head? And why is he telling us about it? And that's all that is. And I'm so happy about that. So that's what, this will be fun, I think, at least. And also, it'll get better as it goes on. We probably chatted for like 5 minutes right now about, what's happening here. And that's because I've never done anything like this before, podcast style, with no, So there goes the water bottle falling onto the couch. Maybe that's a symbol. But I thought let's talk. Can we do that? Can we just talk candidly for a bit? Is that all right? You mind? I would love to, personally. And now that I've given a big enough disclaimer, I think it's ready to move on. So hello. Hey, big news. 100K. This is the kind of first time I've addressed that on film since it happened. That was cool. Very happy with where the channel is going. Very happy. It's doing really well, the channel, and I'm really I feel like I figured something out. Weekly uploads was fun until like I had an idea that was bigger than a week, which was the 100 posters video, and then that video became my most viewed video at the time, and I was like, oh, okay, you don't have to upload weekly to get views. That actually makes no sense. I don't think consistency is a thing anymore. And I was like, maybe if I just put more effort into the videos, have a better think about the idea. And this is something I think as well, like coming from TikTok and Reels and all that, if the idea of the video, this is my biggest lesson. If the idea of the video can be done in a short form TikTok in like a minute or two, then you don't make a YouTube video on it. I'm certain that that's the case. I don't think people are willing to watch something that could be done in a minute, in 20 minutes anymore, unfortunately. I wish it was the case, because it'd be so easy to make a here's my favorite fonts video. Those used to do really well. They just don't anymore because it's like, you can just list them now. I don't think anyone has the time to listen to you talk about why you like a certain font, which is a shame. And maybe we'll get back there one day. Maybe one day that'll kind of like resolve itself with the attention spans and everything. But I think it's very much like right now, it is like, it's like, yeah, long form only. Like it has to be something that you have so much footage that the only way you can publish it is if you condense it to like 20 minutes. And I think that's the case, which is fun. I personally am a fan of that. I'm looking forward to making videos like that. The next video that I'm going to make should be really fun if I can get around to bloody making it, because it is taking a lot of energy to sit down and just start doing it. But I know I need to just start doing it. Because the issue is I get into these things where it's like I publish a video, like the last video, nearly 600K views, doing super well, getting me over 100K, and I'm like, oh, all I need is that one video to really pop off, and then I'll just get all the momentum I need to keep making stuff. And then it just is the complete opposite. Every single time a video does better than I think, or does really, really well, I lose all motivation to make anything, and I just sit there for weeks refreshing the analytics, being like, oh, cool, it's doing well, but could it have done better? And I'm like, shut up, Elliot. It's done so much better than anything. Just relax, enjoy that. So that's tough, but I think it's funny. Yeah, whenever a video would bomb on the channel, I would be like, the next day I would start working on the next one. And now it's like, no, I kind of like, need to see where the video goes, and then I'll like actually start doing it. So that's an issue. That might be an issue for the long run. But also, it's good to know that when a video flops, like I kind of prefer it being the way that it is. Like, if it was the other way around, then I don't think I would have posted. I would have. Back when I was posting those Design Chef videos, you know how fucked it was with those Design Chef videos? Every single one that I uploaded was a 10 of 10. Devastating. YouTube, fuck you. No, that's YouTube Studio system with the 1 of 10 thing, the way that kind of works, it's brutal. You don't want to like watch a video go up and then because I would always upload at midnight. So I'd like go to sleep, wake up, 10 of 10. I'd be like, okay, great. The one video that I really thought, I thought every video would blow up. I'd be like, this is the one. And then they just didn't. But it's very nice when you get a 1 of 10. That's a nice feeling, at least. But yeah, God, the numbers behind it all. The reality of YouTube. Oh my God, what a disaster. But yeah, it's pretty cool that the channel has grown this much. I'm very happy with it. I'm getting the plaque tomorrow, I think, which is just like, I'm like, what the hell? It happened very quickly. The last video got like 40,000 subs or something, which is like, I had 80,000 at the time of uploading. Like, huh? 50% increase from one video. That's something else. So thank you to everyone who joined from that video at least. And if you've been binging the content or whatever, that's really fun. It's just nice. It's nice to know that when you figure it out, because YouTube can be such a strange game. And I think to anyone thinking about starting YouTube, I think you figure it out eventually. But you just gotta kind of like understand. You gotta go, it's not gonna work as quickly as you think it will. It really won't. But then you get glimpses of that, and what's important is what you do after those glimpses. You go like, oh, okay, I should learn from this. You gotta like actually sit yourself down and go, oh, this video has a longer watch time than usual. Okay, what did I do that made that the case? Rather than going, nice, go you. On to the next one, completely new idea. It's like, no, it's like, what actually worked? Because, you get a lot of, especially when you're starting out, who knows how many people are viewing the same video, viewing like the same stuff of yours, it could just be new people every single time. But yeah, it's fun. Can recommend YouTube. More graphic designers on YouTube, please. More graphic designers on YouTube. But it is tough. It's a tough game, but we will rise together, That's fun. So yeah, that's going really well. YouTube is sorted. I'm back into regular streaming on Twitch, which is a very interesting thing as well. That's kind of fun. It's funny doing this the whole time in the back of my head. I'm talking and then I'm like, nobody gives a shit, Elliot. Stop talking. Nobody gives a shit. I'm going to try and push that aside for now. I'm going to try and push that aside and just keep going. Okay. But I want you to know that goes through my head, that occasionally a wave of that comes through, and it just did. I was like, you haven't even talked about Adobe Photoshop generative AI, Elliot, and then it just goes away. But it's like, no. I can talk. This is the second channel. I can do whatever I want. I can meow. So yeah, I've been streaming regularly on Twitch again, which is fun, and it's really nice to see some of the people who've come over from YouTube. So big thanks to you. That's been nice. A bit of consistency over there is good. Inconsistency on YouTube, but consistency on Twitch is a nice change. That used to be the opposite. So it's like nice that that's kind of been brought back. I like streaming on Twitch consistently. It is tricky designing on Twitch though. Live streaming design is a fascinating process. It takes the absolute life out of you. It can be a lot of fun, especially when you kind of have an idea originally to start with. But if you've got nothing, which is what I've been having recently, like even in just like my regular life, like designing in general, I've been struggling to find that kind of motivation recently, which I blame on COVID. I got COVID a few weeks back. And that kind of rocked me. That did rock me, and I think it rocked my head a little bit, which is the main issue. I think I've recovered physically, at least I think. I'm slowly getting back into running and things like that, but it's like, in terms of the ideas, it reminds me of when I got COVID for the first time. Yes, this is number 2, unfortunately. It reminds me of the first time where I reckon that threw me for like 6 months. Like in terms of the stuff I was producing was just not up to par to what it was like the 6 months before. It was weird. Very weird time. The kind of like middle 2022, I was doing nothing. Like I was uploading on YouTube like every 3 months. I was uploading on Instagram every like 2 weeks. That's wild, man. But hopefully I haven't really slipped back into that. But I'm trying to pretend like I haven't. I think it's a lot of like a mental thing as well. I kind of told myself, oh, here we go. It's the brain fog. It's back. But I'm like, I think it's gone. I think it's gone. I just think that I am currently in a position where I'm not, since I haven't uploaded a video, or like since I haven't started the next video, I'm kind of struggling to find what's my goal right now. And I'm like, oh, my goal is streaming. My goal is posting 3 times a week and all that stuff. And it's like, that's good and all, but like I need that big project, which is what YouTube offers me. And that just means I can keep going. How funny is this little mic head, by the way? Look how disproportionate that is. Anyway, the things you do for love. But yeah, Twitch has been fun. I've been posting on Instagram more, which has been really good as well. But yeah, I did get COVID. Get this. I was meant to run a half marathon on a Sunday. Okay. I went for my last run the Monday prior, I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling good. Nice and easy run. I'm like, here we go. The taper has started. We are starting to ease up for this half marathon. I had some high expectations for myself. I wanted to do it quick. And then the next day I wake up and I've got a little bit of a sore throat. And I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. I tested negative, but I'm like, it's happening. Wednesday comes around. Wake up, even worse of a sore throat. Didn't get any sleep the night before because of the sore throat. It was killing me. Wake up, I go, it's official. I check the test, positive, and what do you know? No half marathon for Elliot. Devastating. The absolute worst time. But you know, I was happy with how because I accepted it the day before. It helped it a little bit. I was kind of easy about it, and it was more like, you know, you can't do anything about it in the end. Silly me for going out on the Saturday night before. It was a friend's party, and you don't even. Australia has just completely forgotten that COVID is a thing. It's ridiculous, and it really was a wake up call. It was like, oh my god, I didn't even consider that I could get it before the. It's like, what the hell? What happened to this country? So that was really sad, but you know, it is what it is. And then I went and my brother ran the half marathon, you know, Lewis, my twin. And he really had a great run. And that was really nice to see. Felt a lot of pride watching him finish the line. You know, it was lovely. So that was good. But yeah, God, you don't even get a refund for these running races, you know? And I was like, this is my first half marathon. I'm going to buy the photos. I'm going to buy the medal. I'm going to buy the hoodie. And I was like, could I at least get someone to pick up the hoodie? And they were like, no. This is wild. On the Wednesday, they were like, no refunds. Sorry, if you're not there, you can't pick up the hoodie. And then I replied and I said, I've actually had a miraculous recovery. I no longer have COVID. I will be there on Sunday. But could someone else pick it up for me anyway if I can't make it in time? And they said, of course. Just let them know your name at the thing. And I was like, isn't that funny? The hoodie didn't fit. So I gave it to a friend. But that was sad. But yeah, that's kind of thrown me a little bit. I was in like a really good routine with stuff, and I've been trying to get away from like routines in general because I think I get locked into the whole like there was a weird period like in January where I was like, get up at 7, no phone for the first 2 hours of the day, work as soon as you wake up and all this stuff, trying to get myself out of like this creative block. And then I'm like, oh, actually I work really well at night. Maybe I should just start working at night again rather than like trying to fill up my mornings with work to feel more productive. I was like, maybe I just work at night. And then I started working at night and I was like, oh, I like work again. And then Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out and I reserved nights to play that. And now I'm not getting any work done. And I think I've just figured out what's been going on. I either need to get rid of these need to be more frequent. Idea moment. I need to start playing Zelda in the morning and designing at night. Yes. Now that's an idea. Zelda 24/7. What a game. What a game. Fantastic game. But yeah, I think I'm slowly getting out. This feels good at least. Talking myself out of it. We've been going for 20 minutes. What the hell? These ideally will be only 30 minutes, but maybe this one will be an hour. Who knows? I actually have no idea. I might also just delete this and re-record it like right now, but I don't think I will. I think we'll push on. Have I had a sip of water yet either? No, but it's good to know it's there. Don't really need it right now. Hey, let's talk about the design world. Let's get into it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this thing called graphic design, eh? Apparently it's a thing. Oh, that's what I wanted as well. I wanted a little button. Sorry, I keep fiddling with this. I wanted a little button as well that I could zoom in. That'll be in the episode 1. Little zooms, so I can make funny little jokes. Just to keep it visually interesting. Maybe that'll be a thing. Maybe I just need to stand up and stare into the camera. So, hey, Photoshop's generative AI. Let me talk about this for a second. Here's my take on Photoshop's generative AI. There was this thing that happened. I don't know if you guys saw it. First of all, there was this Adobe Summit. Did you guys see that? The Photoshop Summit. Everyone was invited to the headquarters. No invite for Elliot. I was like, oh, maybe it's a US only thing. No. There was some international designers there. They flew in. I sound surprised, but me and Photoshop and Adobe in general have a terrible working relationship. I feel like we hate each other. Maybe they don't hate me. I do think I hate them. The main reason is every time I've worked with them over the last 3 years in terms of client work, I either get paid late, given deliverables that weren't agreed to in the initial contract, and they're kind of passed off as also, by the way, this shouldn't take long. Can you just make a 5-page PDF, running down everything that you've made? And I'm like, what the heck? Terrible experiences. And it's probably not a direct fault of Adobe themselves. It's more they hire a bunch of different agencies to do the ad kind of stuff. And I've worked with a new one every single time I work with them. And it's just always a weird experience. So I don't really work with them anymore. I also don't really like Adobe as a company in general. So I don't want to be Adobe, yeah. Yeah. Especially after doing that every program video, I'm like, oh, I wish Affinity would reach out, or Inkscape. That I can promote those because they are good, and free and cheaper. Because Adobe's getting it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, that was funny. So the new generative AI thing, I've played around with it in the Photoshop beta thing. I have declared, and here's my take: Photoshop generative AI is only good for making clouds in the sky. That's my take. That's my take right now. No, it's kind of fun. It's funny. I don't really care about it too much. But there was this little week where they, on the day, I think it was last Wednesday or something, suddenly every single Instagram graphic designer is posting a reel about Adobe Generative AI. I was like, who is in charge of this marketing thing? You'd think you'd spread it out over a week. They were all given the same date, I'm certain. Everyone just uploaded it on that date. And I was like, this is a bit much. It was overwhelming. And everyone was I've been seeing these YouTube videos of people trying it out as well. And people make 20-minute long videos using the generative AI thing. I couldn't even entertain myself for 20 minutes inside. I'm like it's fun and all, but it's it's very much it's in its gimmick phase, are people really using it for I get the expanding the image, taking a square image and then turning it into a portrait mode, going up and down. I've actually used that for a project already, and that was very helpful. But that's basically content aware fill. That was already a thing. It's just now better. But in terms of generating assets, it's is that a thing? Are people genuinely using that? Because it feels very gimmicky right now. And I still think that with AI in general, it's so obvious when someone uses AI. There's just a style about it. It just feels off. I think it's been so oversaturated right now with the amount of AI stuff that's coming out that we know the look of it. Yeah, the look is very obvious. So I think it's interesting. I don't really know where that will go. I'm what do they call it? The uncanny valley. Does that make any sense? Is that the right term? I love that term. But it's the uncanny valley of it all. When are we going to get into that phase where it's actually genuinely realistic? What I do think is cool is you can have that blurred background, and it'll blur the object you're putting into that background. It'll adjust it based on whether or not the background's blurred. That's pretty good. So it just feels like it's I don't know, 3 months behind where it should be, I guess. I swear other platforms that I've tried have been able to generate better stuff. There are a few things that I try. I mean, I was pushing it. I was being like, I would put a square around my head and be like, head of a cat. And I'd be like, turn me into a cat. What will that look like? And it gave no good results, like terrible results. But what was I really expecting? What was I really expecting? I could just go find a cat photo, blur the bottom, blur my head, and then just like chuck it on. Like, that's pretty easy to do. So like, why was I, it was asking a bit much, which is fair. But yeah, that's been interesting to see. It's been a very big talking point. What I find more interesting is what Adobe have done with the I think the AI stuff they're going to put into After Effects and Premiere Pro, the video stuff. They released a little video for that. That was a lot. That was pretty amazing, I do have to admit. Then they've also got that 3D model to you can put in the model and then you can type what you want. It will turn into, like, if you put in like a church looking structure, but just the basic model with no textures, you can then say, turn this into a church, and it will turn it into a church, and like then you can still move it around. That stuff's pretty cool too. The image generation stuff just feels like it's like, I'm like, okay, we can make images. Come on. Well, what's next? What's next? They've also got the text to other things, which I think is like a very gimmick, like turning text into like a forest. You can write a word, then make it look like it's a forest, but it's the word. That one? That one is boring, in my opinion. And then there's the color variation one as well, which is like inbuilt into Illustrator anyway. Like, you can take a vector graphic and you can generate color variations. It's like you have a tool for that, mate. Like, you've got the recolor artwork tool, but you just have more control over it. Like, I'm like, why don't you tell more people about that? I swear no one knows about that tool. It's a good tool. But yeah, I've been trying to get into more 3D stuff too. We did Blender Fridays last Friday on stream, and I kind of got back into it slowly, but Blender is really difficult. I know I promised a May update for Blender, but I really just hadn't done anything worth showing. Like, I tried doing the VR stuff. That was really fun, actually. VR sculpting is a lot of fun. We did some more of it on Friday, and I actually got something I was pretty happy with, like in terms of the detail on it, I think, because the detail is the hardest thing. It's quite easy to create like a skull and like a head shape, but like when it comes to the bags under the eyes, the wrinkles and stuff like that, you really got to get quite good at the controls and understanding like the different resolutions and stuff. So that's fun. I think I'll do more of that soon. We'll definitely keep doing Blender Fridays. I will give you a hint. The next video is very much to do with Blender. Like, it's a Blender project essentially. So that'll kind of be the May update, but I don't like, the update is too casual. Yeah. for the new direction the channel's going in. It's too casual. So I have to do I got to go above and beyond, because that's what I force myself to do now. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be very big. But yeah, that's kind of what the plan is for the next video. I think should be good. But yeah. And also as well with this thing, like there'll be segments, and I will let you know what they are. We've got the featured item of the week is going to return back from a few videos ago. I always liked the featured item of the week, but it feels like I could probably add it into the new style of videos, but like, I'm like, people will click away. Oh, people click away. So worried about that now. Watch time is really important, turns out. So you got to keep people watching. But that'll be fun. We're going to return featured item of the week. There's going to be a thing where I spin a wheel, and there'll be like a 1 in 1,000 chance I have to delete the channel. We'll just do that every time. That'll be fun. A little bit of danger. What else is there? Oh, and then I'm going to talk about some artists that I like. There'll be an artist, like a featured artist of the week kind of thing. It'll be in a different name. That'll be fun too. Also, I've been working on merch stuff, which is really fun, and I'm going to do that in some of the streams coming up as well, because I finally found a good, they're called Fourth Wall, a good kind of like YouTube, Twitch kind of creator merch site, I guess, that I know a few people use, which just makes sense. I would love one day to be able to just like do it all myself and like order it to me, get it all shipped in, send it off. Wouldn't that be fun? But you know how hard it is to ship things from Australia? You know how hard it is to ship things in general? I don't think I've ever shipped anything in my life. I'm so bad at all that. I don't know how to do it. I don't even want to learn, like I'm just, it scares the shit out of me. So that is something that I want to do. But maybe if I move to America, which could be a fun thing to talk about. So something else that I'm thinking of doing is moving to New York City in like May, April, May, June, July next year. I would love to experience one last Australian summer and then avoid winter in both countries, like enjoy the summer here, a little bit of autumn, head over to spring and enjoy a new summer. Do you know how cool that? Because I don't think I could handle the New York cold. That's the issue. I don't think I've ever experienced cold to that degree. So that would be pretty chilly. That'd be pretty chilly. But so that would be the plan. That's the plan. Within a year, I guess. This is about as far. Like I don't want it to be a year from now. I want it to be within a year. So that's the thing. If you're wondering why, what the hell are you doing going to New York City? Well, I went there once when I was younger. And it was like, I've never felt more at home in a city. And I think that's because there's a theater kid inside me who will always live on. God bless him. Who loves musicals, who used to exclusively listen to musicals. God bless him. And I think that will always be something I need to be close to. I'm gonna need to be close to Broadway. Okay. I was thinking about moving to Chicago, and then I went, why would I want to go to Chicago? There's no Broadway. I'm like, go to Broadway. So I would love to go there. I don't know which borough I would live in. Apparently that's a thing. I just thought everyone lived in Manhattan. Turns out that's not the case. Turns out Brooklyn is not on the main island. That is why there is a bridge called Brooklyn that I guess goes to Brooklyn, perhaps. Never went to Brooklyn, but I would like to check that out. I'm thinking about potentially going over for a little bit at the end of this year, maybe to inspect the vibe and see if I actually like it or not, or if my childhood love for the theater got in the way of my actual enjoyment of the city. But I would like to kind of experience that. And I also think New York is just like the heart of design, not really, but it kind of feels like it is. And I would love to be close to all of that, I think. There's also some good like improv stuff that I would like. I love improv. I love improvised comedy. So I'd love to do some stuff over there. I think that'd be fun. Comedy in general. But the design scene is so active over there. I mean, I'm very distanced from the design scene here. Like I was invited to an event once. And I just didn't go. I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at the talking to designers thing. I really struggle talking to designers. I don't know how people do it. I don't know. I just don't know how people do it. What do we talk about? Fonts? But I'm just like I like to keep to myself. But I think maybe being over New York, I would force myself to go out because like I won't have a friend group. I'll have to make friends, I guess, right? That's a thing. Which would be sad leaving my friends here, but you got to do it. You got to jump on a plane eventually, I guess. And so I think that'd be nice. Like I would also, I mean, visas are such an issue. Shout out to all my international designers thinking about visaing anywhere. Oh, especially as a freelancer, it's like kind of not really a thing. There are 2 visas that I could get. There's one which is just the standard visa. So if I apply for a studio, and I'm considering this highly, if I apply for like a studio and I'd be like, please let me work for you, but however, you will have to pay to sponsor. You will have to sponsor my visa. But I'm like, hello, if you would like me to work, I would love to work for you. Blah blah blah. Then they can sponsor me. I can go over there. Then I'll have workmates, it'll be a bit more of a vibe. It'll also be the double income. I'm not going to stop YouTube if that's the case. I'll just I feel like if I'm in New York, I'm going to like grind no matter what. Like it's just going to be a thing. Like it's the energy of the city. So I can like kind of enjoy that double income for a little while living in a slightly more expensive city than Sydney because it is bloody expensive here. So that would definitely be helpful. Or the other visa that I can get is the O1 visa, which is the celebrity visa, which all the Aussie actors get. But turns out you can also get it if you are a graphic designer and if you are kind of like considered at the top of the field. Now, I do not consider myself at the top of my field, but I have a lot of followers. And I think that is actually taken more into consideration than any kind of achievement. So that'll be good. But from what I've been told, I have enough to get it. Apparently, it's not that hard. So there's like the American Institute of Graphic A. I don't know what the A stands for. I think It's also American Institute of Graphic. I don't know. Makes sense. And then they will, if you pay them, of course, if you pay them like, it's like $200, $250, they will verify you as a designer of note, no matter who you are, I think, as well, as long as you just pay, which is wild to me. They're letting anyone into New York designers these days. They'll send anyone. So that's kind of cool. So I'll definitely look into that. So it's one of those two. I don't really know yet, but the goal is this. Let me be vulnerable for a second. I wrote down a list of goals for June this morning, a week in, and I wrote in big capital letters, visa application, and I underlined it. So I think this is the month we do it. I hope. I've been sitting on it for far too long, but I think that'd be fun. I would love to go. I would absolutely love to go. I would love to just like live in a different country for a little bit in general, even just like a different city. Just like, because I think we're still all like, I don't know, like I love it here. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. I got a very good thing going, but like, I just want to know. I want to know what it will be like. I've been living on my own for so long that I want to know what it will be like just completely on my own too. Like, can I handle it? I think it would be a cool little test. And yeah, just to see. I'm just so curious. And as it's that whole narrative of it all, you know, like, oh, the content creator moving to New York. Maybe I'll see Casey Neistat in the streets. Maybe I can go for a skate with him. I love skating. Never skated in my life. So yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. I would like to do that. So that's on the cards, and I'll keep you all updated with all that stuff as it kind of goes along. And I guess that's what this is all about. How long have we been going for? 35 minutes or so. Maybe we'll call it an end. Maybe that's what this will be. Well, this will be more structured in the future. This is why I'm glad this is number 0. Review so far. The review of how it's been. I think this is enjoyable. It's enjoyable to do at least. It feels very no pressure. I feel less pressured doing this than doing like a Twitch stream, which is fun, which is kind of what the plan is. I don't know if anyone will care or be interested in this. So that'll be interesting. Whether or not people actually like care enough to watch. Because I don't know. I guess I'm like, why should people care? But I watch weekly, you know, like the Cody Co's running vlog. Like, I don't watch his regular stuff, but I obsessively watch his Cody Trains stuff, and that's just his life. And I'm like fascinated by it, and I love watching it. So I'm like, maybe that'll be maybe this is like the vlog style thing, but less vloggy and more just chatty, which is a thing that people like as well. So maybe you will find this interesting. Either way, let me know. Okay. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Let me know. And if I'm in the mood and I get my ass together and I get it all sorted, then episode 1 will officially be next week. I think that's the plan. Now that I've done this, it's easy. There were all these technical things that I was worried about, like the camera that I'm shooting on can't shoot 4K, and I was like, oh, then I got to get my other camera and the one that I use YouTube videos. I got to put that onto the stream camera, and I got to mix all that, and just little technical stuff that I couldn't be bothered doing. But then I'm like, Elliot, relax. I think I watched a Emma Chamberlain podcast on Spotify, like, because you can see there's videos, like, so I watched one of her videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she literally just sits in her bed, like, there's just like a webcam, and I'm like, okay, you don't need to worry about like the quality of it all. That's not what the point is. It's gonna look pretty anyway, and I think this is a nice little setup. I think. Oh. We can see it change as we grow. Maybe one day this will be a cat. Maybe one day, maybe I'll wear pants on one video. But I think the shorts is a fun little running joke. You know? But yeah. This was fun. And I can upload this because we edited it as we went on. You know? I can scurry over to the computer. Stop touching shit, Elliot. I can scurry over to the computer and I can quickly put a LUT on it to make it all pretty, and then I can just upload it. And that's the easiest thing I've ever done. This will literally take an hour a week. Like, come on. That's doable. All right, I've talked myself into it enough. Hey, this was lovely. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Hope if you were designing during this, hope you got something done. Maybe yeah. I've also got music that I can play sometimes, like this, and I can get real emotional, and we can get kind of nice here, and I can say seriously, thank you for 117,000 subscribers. Who would have thought that this little guy, starting his own little graphic design channel, doing little tutorials at first, fun videos, all that kind of stuff, would go on to make a video where he designs in every single program, and that video happened to do very well, and people liked it. There's 1:45 left of this song. How long is this pause? Oh, well. There it is. Yeah, thanks for checking this out. I hope you have a banger of a week. Hey, happy Tuesday. Shut up. Happy Tuesday. This will be. I usually do this on Monday. I'm going to reserve these for Mondays, but we're uploading this on a Tuesday. And yeah. All right. Let's go. I'm going to stand up and hit the recording. Thanks to my I'm going to put the names of all the Patreon. I'm just kidding. It doesn't exist. All right. Thanks.